Hello BTS fans. Today, the ARMY world was rocked by a chilling news. Kim Taehyung, aka BTS's V, has left the military camp to face one of the biggest challenges of his life. Brutal winter military training. With temperatures below 0 degrees and harsh terrain, this training is not only a physical test, but also a mental one. The question is, will Taehyung, who is used to living in the glitz of the celebrity world, be able to survive? Surprisingly, the biggest support came from his best friend and bandmate, jeong-guk. Yes, you heard it right. jeong-guk, the golden maknae, did not let Taehyung face this ordeal alone. Before leaving, jeong-guk even gave an encouraging message. "Hyung, this is just another challenge that we have to conquer together." The message immediately went viral, and ARMY wondered, how deep is the relationship between these two stars? South Korea's winter military training is known to be a soldier's nightmare. Imagine walking long distances in the snow, sleeping in makeshift tents that are almost buried in thick snow, and only being fed cold rice and makeshift soup. This is not the usual lifestyle for Taehyung, a global star who always looks stunning on stage. But who would have thought in the midst of this challenge, Taehyung's tough side as a soldier began to show? The most emotional moment occurred when jeong-guk hugged Taehyung tightly before leaving. Their photo immediately broke social media, making armies all over the world cry with emotion. Is this just an ordinary friendship? Or is there something deeper than their relationship? One thing is for sure, jeong-guk's support is the main fuel for Taehyung to face the cold snow and the harshness of the training field. Currently, Taehyung is facing one of the toughest tests in his life. In a leaked letter, he wrote, "This is difficult, but I believe this will make me stronger. I will come back with a greater story." This letter immediately went viral and proved that Taehyung is not just an idol, but also a human being who is struggling to become the best version of himself. However, armies wonder, can Taehyung survive without the glittering world that has made his name great? Or is this the moment when he will find his true strength? All eyes are on Taehyung, and this moment will determine whether he returns victorious or falls along the way. However, what made this moment so historic was the global ARMY response to Taehyung's struggle. Social media exploded with hashtags like #Taehyung Strong and our jeong-guk support, confirming that BTS is more than just another music group. Their close bond shows that behind their popularity, there is a genuine, unshakable friendship. The question now is, what really makes the two of them so solid even in the toughest conditions? One of the moments that became a highlight was when Taehyung, in the midst of tough training, took the time to sing for his fellow soldiers. With a simple guitar in his hand, he sang songs that made anyone who heard feel warm, even though they were surrounded by snow. Songs like Spring Day and BTS's iconic Blue and Gray made the night feel special. Who would have thought that in the midst of the cold training, Taehyung could still create miracles? However, winter training is not all about miracles. With physical conditions constantly being tested, many soldiers have to grapple with fatigue. Taehyung, despite being known as a charismatic figure, is not immune to this pressure. But what makes him different is his never-give-up attitude. He knows that the whole world is watching, and he doesn't want to disappoint ARMY, who have been giving him their endless support. Meanwhile, jeong-guk never fails to show his support, even though they are in different places. From sending messages, small gifts of hot tea, to the news that he planned a small celebration for Taehyung when he returned from training, all of them are real proof of how strong their bond is. This is not just friendship, this is a real example of how friendship can transcend boundaries. In one of his letters to fans, Taehyung wrote, "You are the reason I keep fighting even when I feel like giving up. I will not let this cold stop me from coming back stronger." These words show another side of Taehyung, a fighter who is determined not to give up on any challenge. And ARMY has responded with a wave of support. Letters, prayers, and even donation projects in Taehyung's name to help military veterans have sprung up all over the world. This proves that BTS are not just your average idols, they are a true inspiration. But will this support be enough to help Taehyung get through the mental and physical battle he is currently facing? Another interesting fact is the report that Taehyung might receive an award for his outstanding performance during training. Although it has not been officially confirmed, this rumor is enough to make ARMY cheer. Will this be proof that Taehyung is not only an amazing artist but also a tough soldier? However, the journey is not over yet. After the winter training is over, Taehyung still has to face another phase of his mandatory military service. This challenge is just the beginning of a bigger chapter in his life. But with the support of jeong-guk, ARMY, and his strong determination, many are confident that Taehyung will be able to face it with his head held high. Interestingly, how will this training affect Taehyung's future work? Many speculate that this experience might inspire his new songs. Could we be hearing a work born from the harshness of the military? If so, Taehyung might create one of the most emotional albums in BTS history. So, for those who think that this is just a regular phase, you are wrong. This training is part of Taehyung's transformation into a stronger, wiser, and more inspiring person. And as he always does, he will bring ARMY with him every step of the way. This moment also teaches one important thing. Idols are not perfect figures. They are also ordinary people who face challenges in life. But what makes them extraordinary is how they choose to face those challenges. And Taehyung, with all his charm, chose to fight, survive, and rise. When the snow melts and spring arrives, Taehyung will return to the stage with a new story, new strength, and new spirit. But until then, the world can only wait and hope. The question now is, are you ready to welcome a Taehyung who is greater than ever? Because one thing is for sure, this journey will be an unforgettable legend. What is even more interesting is the deep relationship that Taehyung has built with his fellow soldiers in the camp. A fellow trainee mentioned that Taehyung has a unique way of building team spirit. He's not just a regular soldier, he brings an aura that makes us feel like family, said a soldier who did not want to be named. On one particularly challenging night, Taehyung even led a short motivational discussion that made the entire team feel stronger in the face of the cold snow. However, it's not just on the field that Taehyung has made an impact. Military trainers have also reportedly been impressed by his humble attitude. Taehyung is said to always be one of the first soldiers to offer help, whether it's building a tent or sharing rations with those who need more energy. He really sets an example, said one trainer. But is this dedication enough to make Taehyung recognized as one of the best participants in this training? Meanwhile, attention continues to be focused on jeong-guk's plans to welcome Taehyung. Reliable sources say that jeong-guk has prepared something special, possibly a simple but meaningful event, to celebrate Taehyung's successful completion of winter training. Will this moment be one of the biggest highlights of their military journey? Fans around the world have begun discussing how this military experience could change BTS's dynamics in the future. With two members having undergone the rigors of military training, will their future works reflect more of the realistic and struggling side of life? Many believe that this journey will actually give a new dimension to their music, making BTS even more relevant to fans across generations. What do you think, ARMY? Can Taehyung pass this test? Or are we about to witness the biggest moment in BTS history? One thing is for sure, the world is watching, and Taehyung, with jeong-guk and ARMY behind him, is ready to prove that he is not to be underestimated. Don't forget, this isn't just training. This is a journey to show who Taehyung really is.
They don't wanna see me make it, they don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that.